Before I get started on my video, I just want to say thank you, James Gunn, because without you, I wouldn't be able to jumpstart my channel back again. And my last video did amazing. I talked to some of you, well, a lot of you, all my comments I usually try to respond to. So it was great going back and forth with you guys on my last video, which did amazing. So I appreciate y'all for that. I know the dislikes to like ratio was crazy. The James Gunn fans, stands, they run wild and rampant. But yeah, without further ado, cue the intro.
It's a bird! It's a plane!
It's a geek.
It came to my attention and to the attention of a lot of people around maybe 11 or 12 p.m. Eastern time today. It is official that Warner Brothers has announced that they are now officially considering acquisition offers. They will launch a comprehensive review of strategic alternatives for a whole or partial sale of the company. There's a lot of things to unpack here. And the first thing I want to start with saying this, because y'all know I'm a Marvel, anime, DC-ish kind of channel. So I want to say this. By no means, because I know people are going to be trying to spin this, by no means is this a response to the DCU failing. Is this a response to James Gunn and his movies and how everything is panned out and where everything will go? It's not a response directly to that. Does it show that Warner Brothers doesn't have as much confidence in that? Possibly, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. But what this is a response to is the years, maybe a decade or so, of Warner Brothers really not making the money that they're supposed to be making. If you look at all the films that they released this year, the only one that really exceeded expectations and did great was the Minecraft movie. And we all know the Minecraft movie was trash. But it had a major social media thing with the chicken jockey thing. And I believe it ended up making like $1 billion or over $1 billion. The rest of the stuff, if you look at it, F1, the one battle after another movie with Leo that just came in. Some of these movies did not do as good as Warner Brothers had hoped. They're looking at saying, yo, we're just gonna sell everything. There are a few companies, a few major corporations that have been in talks or probably in the hunt to get Warner Brothers. Some of the names that I've been seeing floating around has been Paramount, has been NBC Universal, Netflix. I've seen Apple some places. People were hinting at Disney. No one really knows which way this will go as of now. But there was an update a few hours ago, and that update said Netflix and Comcast both have interest in acquiring Warner Brothers film and TV assets, but not the networks. Basically, they want all the good stuff, but not the bad, which that comes with business. Let's go to, which I know y'all are here for, the DCU aspect of how this can affect the DCU. I will say this, you can kind of see which way the DCU could potentially go depending on who buys what. Now, this will get some of the Snyder fans excited. If there is a reality where Netflix buys the Warner Brothers, you can see the return of Zack Snyder coming back. Now here's the funny thing. A lot of y'all are saying he will just be picked back up with Henry Cavill and who. If James Gunn becomes out as the lead in DC, you can't put the fan base against another reboot because you have to reboot everything again. You can't just rewatch everything James Gunn has done. So that's where the issue will stem from. My thoughts is maybe James Gunn doesn't leave the DCU, but maybe he steps down. Because one of the reasons, and I've been telling y'all this, there's two reasons why the DCU probably will have a hard time of becoming what they want it to be. The main being that James Gunn's leader aspect and his creative aspect has been tarnishing what they could do. Because sometimes James Gunn, the leader, allows James Gunn, the creator, to do things that James Gunn, the creator, should definitely not be doing, as we saw with the Peacemaker season 2 finale. Would not mind James Gunn being a director, directing some movies. Maybe he writes a few films, but him being out would be cool, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Another thing is the fan base, right? The fan base. James always had a tough task to do because the Snyder bots are so idiotic. His own fans are so idiotic. He would always have an issue with getting the DCU fan base aligned because you have two sides of the same coin. Everybody wants the same thing. They just want it in different ways. And one side is honestly a little more annoying than the other. But recently we've been seeing the Gunn fans are starting to become the new Snyder fans. So honestly, it'll be good if we just say, screw it. Get someone else to lead, keep some of the characters from the DCU and go a completely different direction. Because we know James doesn't even know the direction he wants to go. And that could be part of the problem. Because if Warner Brothers was confident, they let the DCU become a profitable franchise, kind of how Disney did with the MCU. With Paramount, I couldn't see that. In reality, you don't want Paramount. You don't want Netflix. NBC Universal will probably be the best bet, but you don't want these corporations who are notorious for doing nothing with the assets they have. To this day, Netflix's biggest thing they've ever done is Stranger Things. And Stranger Things came out almost 10 years ago, all right? We know what Paramount represents. Just about nobody has a Paramount subscription. We know what they represent. For Disney, if Disney were to buy Warner Brothers, you would start to have aspects and talks of, hold on, is Disney starting to become a monopoly of sorts? So I think they kind of want to shy away from that, especially considering when they already have Marvel. There's really no need to come up with DC. There's no need. I really think that Universal might be the best bet. You can have a fresh slate. Universal, they know how to make money. You see their parks, you see everything. Universal, they know how to make money. So I wouldn't mind Warner Brothers going that route. But what you can say for certain, no matter if Zach comes back, James comes back, what you can say for certain is that David Zaslav will be gone. Because honestly, this has been a train wreck under his command as CEO. He hasn't really been doing good. There's a lot of things. He's made a lot of controversial decisions. He was trying to play catch up, but he's not really doing a good job. As far as the DC aspect, I would like to see someone else come in and head DC. Who would those people be? Jon Favreau could be a good name. Now, I know Jon Favreau is more so on the Disney side. I know he's done some stuff with Star Wars. I know he's done some stuff with Marvel, obviously. I'm not too familiar on how he is with DC, but you would need to change James Gunn's position into two roles. You need a creative and you need a leader. Warner Brothers, they tried to have James Gunn do exactly what Kevin Feige was doing. But the reason why it's not working, and it probably won't work if they continue with this path, is Kevin knows when to put the business leader hat on and he knows when to put the creative hat on. And most of the time, the business hat is on. I want to say 70%, 80% of the time is business. And then the other side, it's creative. You want people to, and I told y'all this in my last video, how you get DC to become what it needs to become is having other people give their creative expertise, not just have it be a monopoly with James Gunn and his silly, idiotic, immature writing style. He's a great director, but his writing is what does it for me. And even then, he is very egotistic. I know y'all saw that screenshot. James put himself in the Peacemaker finale. James Gunn is canon to the DCU. Literally, because he put himself in that background shot when they were on the boat. So stuff like that, you gotta get rid of that, and that would be the best way to do it. Will be to have someone else come in. Warner Brothers themselves, man, they're cooked. I don't know what major property they have where you can have a cash cow, but selling it seems like the right thing to do. But yeah, that's what I got for y'all. If we have more updates on how this works, and if we get an update on who might be the highest bidder or whatever, I'll come back and update you all. But that's what I think about Warner Brothers being acquired by another company, another corporation. If you love the video, like the video. If you don't love the video, still like the video. On the road to 500 subscribers. I appreciate if you love my content. Share my content. Without further ado, I'm out. Peace.